It was a time of great economic crisis. What was at that time nationally known as a recession was in Pittsburgh really something approaching a depression.
Layoffs were quite extensive. There was a total reorganization within steel.
There were thousands of businesses that provided services and support and product to the steel industry that also, lost their companies.
Unemployment in this region was approaching 15%.
We were looking at pale imitation of what our economy had been during the salad days of the industrial age.
Many people believe that it was that series of events that once and for all broke the pattern of what had defined Pittsburgh's economy.
And so through 82 and 83, that was an enormous period which the community was going through a tremendous readjustment in that regard.
This region had been dependent on the steel industry and the many jobs that it provided. And we were really at a crossroads. We could have gone the direction of other failing Rust Belt cities, or we could reinvent ourselves.
In the mid-1980s, when every Rust Belt city wanted to become a corporate headquarters and high-tech center, Pittsburgh had certain built-in advantages. It already was a headquarters town. Many of its corporations had a rich history in research and development, and it had two very strong research universities in Pitt and Carnegie Mellon.
All that sponsored research is the potential basis for a product, a process, a company.
Already here in town, people were already at the cutting edge. They were pushing what was happening with computing and technology and robotics and all these things.
Almost in the shadows, there were a number of small technology companies emerging.
Believe it or not, we didn't know each other.
So there was no community where you could sort of go and talk to people with similar problems and maybe talk about where they solved some of their issues or got their people.
And Jay got the idea that there were technology companies in the area and that we should all get together, get to know each other.
So a lot of thought by a handful of us was perhaps to gather together the technology companies we had, empower them, and gain a lot more from that.
The folks who created the Tech Council recognized that something truly profound and important was happening, and they had the vision to create a community around it.
And so there was the beginning of a collaboration amongst those folks who were already here to begin to get together and talk about what they did and what they could do for each other.
The vision of the people who said we have to do something, we can do something, and we know we are going to do something. It's something not only do I feel honored to sort of carry the torch, but to know that against all odds in this whole backdrop of the decimation of what everyone knew here in steel, that they saw right through it. And they didn't see it as risk. They saw it as an imperative.